Hi everyone, so let's now take a look at some evaluative points you can use in response to an essay on protectionism. Okay, so first up, number one, will domestic firms be able to enter or re-enter the actual market? So we've seen that yes, there can be an increase in domestic production, but there is likely to be, firstly, a time lag impact there. It's going to take time before those domestic firms can actually respond and actually increase production. And secondly, can they actually re-enter that marketplace? Well, that's likely to depend upon the barriers to entry within that particular sector. Within agricultural produce, we know we have a high degree of product homogeneity, i.e. identical products, okay, and that means market entry is relatively easy in a perfectly competitive marketplace. But of course, with more sophisticated products, if we're importing more sophisticated goods, then that is more difficult to suddenly get firms to actually move into or re-move into that sector and start producing, let's say, CT scanners or MRI scanners for hospitals or something like that. Okay, now number two, are there better ways to develop the manufacturing sector? Well, certainly Germany have found a way. Germany have managed to actually maintain very, very high current account surplus, reaching as high as 10% of GDP. Some would argue that's too high, but nevertheless, Germany's manufacturing sector is much famed. Now, part of the reason for that has been their excellent technical and vocational colleges they have, and the links that those colleges have between the colleges themselves and the actual workplace. So there's a direct link between the manufacturing sectors. Now, in relation to this as well, there's been the start-up and development of lots of small and medium-sized companies within Germany. And of course, those companies then pride themselves on making high-quality, precision-made goods, which then get exported across Europe. Now, Germany has managed to maintain that current account surplus despite the integration of Eastern European countries into the European Union, of course, so the likes of Poland, Romania, and Bulgaria as examples there. Okay, so it's very, very impressive what Germany have done. So what lessons can we learn from them? Number three, importance of supply-side policies. So that is investing in education, ensuring that there's lots of new business start-up, that entrepreneurs are incentivized to actually offer more products, more services, and so on. What other policies can also be used? It could be perks in terms of investment, so there could be tax breaks in regard to investment in capital goods. There could be incentivization provided by the government for research and development as well. So there's various things that could be undertaken in response to this. Okay, number four, could a border adjustment tax be used instead of protectionism, and would this ensure a more level playing field? Firstly, what is this border adjustment tax? Well, really this would levy a certain rate of VAT. Let's say they decided to actually increase VAT to 25%. So VAT rises to 25%. Meanwhile, in the UK, for UK workers, as they actually start paying income tax, they just pay 15% direct taxation. Now, what's interesting about such a notion really is that with this sort of increased VAT, that would apply to all goods, foreign and domestic. So therefore that is fair, but the reduction in the income tax rate from 20 to 15% may actually reduce the cost base quite significantly for UK manufacturing firms, and therefore make it more of a level playing field in terms of actually competing with the likes of China, which of course is renowned for its state support of private and state-owned enterprise. Okay, number five, how do you pick the protected sector? This is a great question to pose. So why do they deserve protection and another sector not? So this really just feeds into the point regarding whether a government should be actually picking winners. Okay, number six, When is a sector no longer an infant industry? Another excellent question that can be posed in relation to this and looking at tariffs that are used on LEDCs. Okay, so if they've developed quite significantly, when are they no longer an infant industry? Great stuff, guys. We'll leave it there. Thank you.